A word from our sponsor, Heartland National Life Insurance Company. Guys, when I talk about Heartland National Life Insurance Company, I get pretty passionate because those guys have been so good to us in our endeavor to better serve our clients with fully customizable hospital indemnity plans to go along with both ACA and Medicare Advantage plans successfully. I'm looking at the notes. I had to break script, but it is important to note that Heartland National provides competitive Medicare supplement options and hospital indemnity plans in 36 states. That's 36 states where you're going to have a product selection with this company. And this company was started by an agent with the agent in mind. It's very important to know that because when you're out there producing, sometimes it feels like you're not thought of by the insurance company, but this product is thinking of the consumer and the agent alike. It makes it really easy for us to do our job, covering more risks, getting compensated like we deserve, and making sure that our clients have the coverage they need. Head over to BobbyBrockInsurance.com/Heartland, BobbyBrockInsurance.com/Heartland to get set up with access to these products immediately. You're not going to regret it. Thanks, guys, for watching. What's up, guys? Justin Rock here. Stephen Martinez, the Medicare professor. And today we have our good friend Chip-O-Matic, Chip Lewis. By the way, I was trying to tag you last night in my Instagram post, and I had to go and Google Chip Lewis to find, like, Chip Lewis Instagram to find what your Instagram had was, because I had already put the post up and I didn't want to back all the way out to find you. So I had to do that. And it was Chip-O-Matic.
Chip-O-Matic.
Never used that ever. And I was like, oh my God, he tagged me in Chip-O-Matic. Great. Thank you.
Well, I will say this about Chip. Out of all the people that have come to our office and visited, he is probably one of my favorites.
Oh yeah. Chip-O-Matic is definitely.
We had a lot of fun with Chip.
He's one of our favorites. No, Chip shut it down one night behind the agency, man. We just kept having to figure out who was going to take him back to the hotel.
If we kept letting him karaoke, if we kept letting him get on the microphone, he probably he
tore it up. Hey, I tell you what, Chip, in that Instagram post, did you notice the song that I put on my story that I tagged you in?
I didn't even hear it. It was muted, but
it was Mr. Jones.
My man. Heck yeah. Heck yeah.
That was for you.
Thank you. One of my last memories of Tupelo, Mississippi was, I think, teaching Stephen how to play an A minor on your couch. How's that coming along? Do you get a guitar? You play?
I bought a guitar. I can't say that I've learned much, but I bought one. That's the first step, right?
Yeah. Nice. Yeah, that's it.
I think the first step is admitting you have a problem.
Yes.
But buying a guitar is second, for sure.
Second step. Yeah.
So awesome, Chip. Well, thank you so much for being here, brother. We are pumped to have you because you have a really, really cool thing. Biggest thing we try to do on the Insurance Gurus podcast is just bring people on that have, good stories, good brands being built, good stuff going on. There's a lot of people that kind of come into these cookie cutter approaches to insurance, like come in, buy direct mail, go to people's houses, make them uncomfortable, have a 60% persistency final expense rate, and then, get rich. And that's kind of the thing we don't want on here because it's not interesting. But what you guys have done is interesting, and you don't recruit to the point of just recruiting for no reason. You recruit specifically, targeted, I'm assuming geographically, and picking the right people, and then teaching them how to replicate what you've built for yourself in your own agency, which is cool because you actually are doing what you're teaching other people to do, and it's working out really well for them. So you've got, I think you told me you got about 30 downline agents right now, and all of them are kicking ass. And that's kind of the new front because you have about 1,400 personal clients. And now you guys have gotten up to a little over 10,000 active Medicare policies. And now you're well on your way to doing 10,000 in this year.
Yeah, that's the goal. I mean, I don't see why we won't. We did 3,000 AEP, and I see us knocking out probably 2,500 OEP, another 5,000 next AEP. I don't see why not. And then
2,500 in between.
Yeah, there you go.
That's right. That's the math. That's 10,000.
I've got my calculator. Correct.
So Chip, tell us a little bit about go back when you got in Medicare. Why did you get in Medicare? Was Medicare your first insurance endeavor, or did you start somewhere else?
No, it was. Had mutual friends that were kind of in the game. This was back 2009. A guy was like, "Hey, come ride with me. I think you'll be good at it." I went and rode with him, and he sold like 5 UHC Gold C-SNPs, chronic plans in Georgia, which is easy because everybody's diabetic. So he sold them. I was like, "No, not funny one bit." Yeah, so I was like, "This looks pretty easy." Got my license, went out. My first day, wrote like 6 apps, I think. I still remember my first client, Caledonia Pierce, Dublin, Georgia. Funny thing about that, I just got my first Christmas card from a client the other day. First one ever.
Really?
It was from Caledonia Pierce. My first client ever from 12 years ago, which I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I think I've lost her 4 or 5 times over this 12, 13-year span, but I always get her back. I don't even know if I have her now, but I still take her calls.
Hey, if she's gonna send you a card, then she can
Dude.
leave and come back all she wants.
Whatever, man. It's my first card. I've got it over here somewhere.
Caledonia.
I'm Caledonia Pierce.
Man.
No offense, Caledonia, if you're listening.
Yeah. And just for you guys who are worried about HIPAA violations, that's not a real name. It's a fake name.
No, it's definitely not a real name. And we're gonna bleep that out anyway. Are we live?
We're live.
No. And her social security number is.
Here's her address if you want to go flip her again.
Yeah, if she
Right.
wants,
Go ahead.
she won't be anymore.
Dublin, Ireland. That's where she lives.
She lives in Dublin, Ireland. So, man, you in the last few years you started working with agents. A lot of people ask me, like, if you were going to recreate your exact business now from day one, how would you do it? And I don't mean to like degrade them in the question, but it's funny because business doesn't really evolve that way. When you start out, you're not like, I know I'll have 30 agents and I'll be running television campaigns for them in various cities across the Southeast 10 years from now. Like, you don't know that it evolves based on what possibilities evolve. But what made you start to want to work with some other agents versus just trying to build your own internal team?
Man, I never tried. I never tried to recruit. For the longest time, I just worked AEPs and I traveled the world. And, I didn't want to work during the year, honestly, because I was terrified of scopes back then, the 2-day thing. I was terrified. So I just worked AEPs. Basically, I met my wife in Savannah, Georgia, put some roots down. I really got serious and was like, let's do this thing all year, create the brand. But as far as recruiting agents, it's never been my goal. I know how much money I can make personally. But when we started doing television, honestly, that's when agents started coming to me saying, hey, how can I join you? So I don't know if I answered your question, but it's never been a goal of mine to. I've turned down tons of agents that try to come and do it. And really, I'm like, gosh, now I gotta make you awesome now. Here we go. It's a little bit of a burden.
I like it because I like it as an answer because we didn't recruit. Like when Steven started, like we had agents that started talking to us on the internet and we were like, we don't recruit. We don't really. I referred to so many FMO friends for a long time, like just walk there. And then when we finally started recruiting, I've gotten a couple of those back because I'm like, well, now we are, and you're really good. And, you came to me first. So
you're mine.
Yeah, you're mine, dibs. But now that we are, it's like our business evolved there because we got asked so many times. It's like, wow, I have some friends that have a custom blue jean shop that I've always talked about on here before too, Blue Delta jeans, and they told me the reason their business, like they chose custom bespoke denim as a business, was not because they're like super passionate about blue jeans. But we have a lot of seamstresses in Northeast Mississippi that are underpaid and in bad working conditions. And they're like, oh, we can use that as a resource to develop this. And they built their whole business around the abundance of seamstresses that were underpaid in Northeast Mississippi. So same thing like with recruiting for us. You get asked enough, you're like, well, shit, maybe I should be recruiting if everybody wants to work with me. So,
I know.
So that's what happened to you.
Yeah. And basically when they came, and they saw the television and the brand, they were like, hey, I want to come, join you. Looks pretty cool. I was like, you can join, but just not here. This is my town. This is Savannah.
That's
Medicare
right.
specialist. Like, I'll put you somewhere else. And that's literally how this thing kind of
I
came
just
about.
imagine you kicking one of them into an abyss and saying, "This is Savannah," like
That's
300, right?
probably like 300. Yeah. Into the cave.
Yeah.
But no, that's how it came about. And, Savannah was working so well. It's like, I can replicate this. I know it.
Yeah.
I just needed the people that really wanted to work hard and didn't want that quantity approach, wanted the quality, willing to spend money and know that it's a slow play. I think it's one of the biggest parts of our business model. We have two segments. One is the city, the brand, the quality, the T65. And then we have the street guys, working direct mail. And we write mountains of business that way, thankfully, because it's so expensive to do the brand.
Oh yeah.
City, the T65. Luckily, it camouflages our numbers over here.
Yeah.
To where we can continue to get that marketing money and that flow. So I'm thankful for those street guys. But
and Chip, I'm curious. You'd mentioned like when you started, you'd rode along with a guy selling a lot of the C-SNP plans, and of course you started your own business. What did you focus on in the beginning that you found was more successful for you? Was it Medicare Advantage, or were you selling more Med Sup, or kind of a mix?
I'll be honest, I didn't sell a Med Sup until probably 4 or 5 years ago. I mean, honest to God, I came in here and it was so easy. The $0 everything Medicare Advantage. I remember United Healthcare came out and it was like a $6 premium. And we were like, oh my God, how are we going to sell this? I don't know. I don't think we can do it. I'm going to have to find a new career. Like, I swear to God.
Close the shop up.
So,
we're the opposite. Like when we started in North Mississippi, Humana, the only Medicare Advantages were Humana, and the cheapest one at the time was like, when I first started, was like $59. Then there was one that was like $45, and there were people that were buying like an $87 PPO over a plan in that was like $75. And I was like,
gotta get that dental and vision, baby.
Yeah. Honestly, I didn't even think they had dental and vision good at the time here.
It was terrible.
It was stripped. It was like the worst, plan. And they've come a long way, and we love Humana. Humana's got great plans, but at the time, they just didn't have they couldn't drive. They had to have the premiums that way here, and they can kind of get away with it at the time because there was no competition for them. So that's just funny. But yeah, $6 premium. We actually have a PPO here right now. That's, what is that? $40 a month for a PPO. Our HMO is $0, and then we have an Aetna PPO that's $0, and we still have some people that'll buy the $40 PPO just so they pay the $40 for the network, a little bit better network options by being on PPO. But that's been a big, standard for Aetna here is they have the $0 PPO, and their only competition is a $40 PPO. So they do pretty well with that Aetna plan. But so, as you guys have started scaling and working with agents, what do you enjoy more, working with clients or agents? It's not a trick question.
No, I mean, honestly, I love it's fuel for the tank when I make a sale, and it's not even sales. It's enrollment, it's education every time. It's easy. People come in, hey, what do? I teach them. You have two choices. Here we go. And I love selling. I love the clients, but I almost have too many, and that diminishing returns is coming into play. And I don't want to water down my customer service. Is so important to me. But no, definitely agents. I swear to you, the success that we've had and the recruitment that I've been able to gain is because I literally care more about my agent success than my own. I swear to you, I don't think I've thought 1 second about how much money I've made this AEP or how much money I'll make. I really care about how much money these guys make and their success. I have guys that are quitting $150,000 jobs to come believe in this thing. Yeah. Man, I better make it work for them. It's a little bit scary, but it brings me so much joy to see them succeed. I have such a great group of guys, and they're my buddies. So yeah, I like working with them.
Yeah, no, I know exactly what you mean. I asked that because I really enjoyed the sale for a long time, and then as I got into agents, it is just more fulfilling. And then the idea that you could train one agent and then that agent could help, 1,000 plus Medicare recipients. So you can't. Now the problem with recruiting, this is dry, like recruiting. There's a bad way to recruit, just like there's a bad way to write business, and the bad way to recruit is just like the sink or swim model. Just recruit everybody in, and then just like, I have no process for you, I have no system, just go out and figure it out. And
hopefully somebody figures it out.
And the thing about recruiting too is like there's some people that's what they have to go through because they aren't willing to invest in it. They don't really get the bigger picture. Maybe they don't have the skill set to get plugged into the right opportunity. And it's not like an upline can just go out and pave the way for everybody. But I like the way your recruiting model is because because you're not going out and picking a lot of people. You're trying to pick. I'm sure you have some that are kind of entering the paying more upfront model to build and help build a brand similar to what you have in Savannah in other cities. But then you also have some that are like, okay, maybe they don't have that kind of budget. They can go out and do the other thing until their budget's up, and then we'll help them pile on and do the same concept. Is that what you're
100%? I really don't have anybody running a city that didn't get out there in the street. It's not just building up that renewal base and having that security. Even if someone came up and had a pile of money saved up and like, I just want to go straight T65, straight brand, commercials, all that, I still want them to get out there and see, what we've been through and get into the houses. So yeah, definitely there's a different situation for everybody, but yeah, I want them to earn their stripes too.
Absolutely. Well, awesome, buddy. Well, so 10,000 apps this year, that's going to require some effort, I'm sure. What is, and I want to go back. You said that you're feeling like you maybe reaching that point of diminishing returns from the, I guess, in the perspective of being able to service so many as you're the agent. What does your staff or team in Savannah look like right now?
So right now I just have an assistant who actually works remote, and she's actually has COVID, works remote in Virginia, and is like snowed in, no electricity, no
with
service.
COVID. Oh my God.
Yeah, it's pretty bad with 3 kids trapped in there. So I've been
Everybody
doing
pray for her. That is Nancy, right?
Nancy. That's
Yeah.
Nancy.
Everybody pray for Nancy because
Everybody
Nancy
Yeah,
seems like a really cool person. She's up there in snow. She's got COVID and she has to work for Chip. So let's pray for her.
Yeah, that's tough.
Definitely pray for her.
She is a very nice lady. So,
yeah, no.
So you just have the one remote assistant?
Got one remote assistant. I'm hiring a LOA to run Savannah, hopefully here February 1st. He's going through all of his licensing and everything, but yeah, he's going to be a killer. I've got this thing set up where it's so nice. He can step in for sure as long as I get him trained up right and really make a lot of money.
Well, you came behind the agency, Chip. So I know you need a couple LOAs and you need a couple admin people. You're sitting on a gold mine, brother. I'm just telling you.
I'm doing it. Look,
you're doing great things, but come on, man. Come on.
Dude, I have to get, and one thing I do love is like, I've never done the LOA. Nancy's also an LOA agent under me, and I shoot her a lot of stuff, a lot of leads, but I like this whole broker model where, I'm FMO or whatever, and then agents, and we can kind of be in this together.
Mm-hmm.
I like that model. I think it's on them a lot more. It's definitely a lot less on me, but I still spend the money. So
I think because you're not like far off from a couple of things. We're doing several things here, obviously, but the broker channel, and then the in-house agent channel, having both the in-house agent channels able to help us better support the other side and vice versa. And I think being in Savannah, having the brand that you've built, like that brand deserves a team to start receiving people so that you can spend time with them kids, because I know that's what you enjoy doing. I see all your stories.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, out of all the agents we talked to, his is one of the most impressive.
Yeah, you have a great system.
Thank you. Appreciate
it. But it is a quality thing. So talking about earlier, you're talking about and I'm going to go to a little commercial commercial break here for just a second, but talking about the quality over quantity play, it is expensive, but in the long run, you're able to build a brand that pays dividends over a long period of time. And that's what I'm going to talk about when I come back from this commercial break. It's time to grow your agency like a guru. Introducing Go Guru Pro. The Go High Level platform allows for minimizing software-based subscriptions and grants control over several facets of marketing and communication. Automate your workflow, communicate with your leads, book appointments in advance, and house all your clients in one secure location. Visit goguru.pro and schedule your one-on-one demo today. GoGuru.pro, the official sponsor of Medicare Con.
Yes.
Chip,
What's
are
up?
you going to come to Medicare Con or what, bro?
I don't know. I heard there's this other little company. Yeah, I think I'm gonna come. All right,
Okay.
give me some diamond tickets. Let's do this thing.
Let's do it.
Diamonds. How many diamonds can I get?
You can get all the diamonds are forever.
Heck yeah,
that's
I'm
what we
in.
need to do. We just sell like a $20,000
Hear that,
ticket and
Will?
say diamonds are forever, and you get to go to Medicare Con for the rest of the history of time.
Will, Chip wants diamond tickets. Send it to him.
Please.
So
Definitely a
no,
few.
So definitely, actually looking at Chip presenting at Medicare Con, I think he's got a great story to tell about quality and branding. There's some overlap in some of the ways that we've done business, but he's really got on the scene in the branding arena, fairly quickly in the last few years. I remember. Oh, here's a funny story. So I think Chip will probably figure out what I'm about to sell. I had met Chip very briefly with the elite guys. Where were we at? Dallas or Atlanta?
Dallas.
Is it Dallas? We were in Dallas. We had dinner that night. I met you, but like we didn't spend a lot of time together that night, and I didn't know of him before. So then I was on a vacation
Hilton Head.
in Hilton Head, and there was a TV commercial that came on, and I took a picture of it, and I put it in Medicare Gurus. I was like, anybody know this guy, Chip Lewis? And I had forgotten that I had met you because it was just so brief. And then anyway, you were like hitting me up, messaging me after that, like, oh my God, what did I do?
Dude,
What have I done?
dude, I've always hid in the shadows until I came to behind the agency. I hide. It's nice, damp,
Yeah.
dark. I like it there. It's nice. It's safe.
Yeah.
And you put me on blast. I think Zach McKenzie texted me like, JB just blasted you out, man. I was like, what the heck? I was like, was I doing something non-compliant? I don't know.
No.
And I like messaged you immediately, like, I'm in the Gurus. I'm like part
I
of your
just
posse.
wanted to know because I liked the commercial. You had a good commercial.
Impressed by the branding, the
I
advertising.
like how simple it is and airy and fun, and like you do a little bit of comedy in it, and then I like the idea. Some of the ideas you get. I won't throw it all out there. That's yours. If you want to teach some of that, you can at Medicare Con. But the I like some of the ideas that you had, and I'm a steward of TV, which most people don't really understand how it works. And so I just wanted to meet more people that were doing it the way you were doing it versus the Joe Namath way, so that I could talk to you about it. And we've talked about that before. We share, TV ideas and tips. And look, I can tell you, Chip is always scared somebody's going to come in and just like do what he did and steal his business. You can't, it's not possible because there's a couple things going on there. First, Chip is like got the likable RU64.com. He's got the like thing going on that is good. And then, and it's expensive, just like you just said. Like it's hard for you. You get some marketing support to help because you've proven the path, and because you have the downline helping with the volume of applications that the FMOs and carriers look for to give you some marketing support. But early on, you're basically having to throw that out there, not knowing what your return is. Most people don't do it and don't have the stomach for it, and it's not a sure thing. It's just not a sure thing. Geographic demos are a big part of it. Whether you're viable on TV, there's some strategy in it for sure with the time slots and making sure that what you're paying for, your impression result is not too much. And it's hard to know that. So we have people reaching out to us for it now, but it's like there's an art to it, but it's not an exact art. And it's expensive. So I don't think anybody's going to come in and be like, blow Chip out of the water or blow us out of the water. That's why I've been pretty open that we do TV. and most people ask me about it, but very few people pull the trigger because it's an expensive way to market. It's effective, especially in our demo, but it's not a sure thing. And honestly, it's basically feels like you're burning money for about a year.
Literally, you nailed it. It's like in the beginning, I was like, people would call and ask. They knew I was doing it. How's TV? I was like, oh man, it sucks. I don't know. I hate it. Don't do it.
Don't do it.
It's terrible.
And then you just kept doing it. They're like, why don't you stay on there? You keep saying it sucks.
Kept doing it. And so for the longest time, I was scared. And I thought everybody's going to steal my idea, which is not my idea. It's television marketing. But then I started thinking and I started realizing, like, go for it.
Yeah.
It's going to cost you a whole bunch of money. You're not going to see results, like you said, for a year or two, maybe. And you have to be consistent. You almost have to have support. Shout out to Shanna Clark, Medicare Advantage specialist, who believed in me and believed in my vision, our vision on this thing. And so thank you, Shanna, if you're listening.
She better be.
She better be. Darn it. But yeah, I mean, hey, and that's hard for her too. When I come and say, hey, look, I want to spend X number of dollars in 10 different cities. And she's, you just don't see it right away. She had to believe. So that's awesome. But nailed it. You got to stay consistent, and not just everybody can do it, because you have to, like you said, be likable and have that tagline that don't wait until you're 65 to call, or u64.com. And thank you.
I love
saying I'm all goofy or whatever.
It's not goofy. It's charming and
catchy.
All shucks.
It's likable. It's a likable thing. I mean, there's some people like what do I tell
someone
people?
said it sounded like a dating website
for
seniors.
And that's
I've got one spot. I've got one spot. It's not a dating website.
So one thing I tell people behind the agency or in other settings is, one of your first hires should be to hire out your inadequacy. So be self-aware and learn what your inadequacy is. And some people come in and, I think they're hard workers and I think they do a lot of things, but I would not want them on a TV commercial. If I was them, I'd want to be self-aware that I'm not likable, and I'm brash, or I'm not brash, but some people have a rough, stern exterior, and people don't buy that. They want you to look trustworthy, look honest, but also look approachable and likable. And that's why, like, when I first came into business, my dad was like, well, you're gonna have to wear a blazer and slacks and burgundy shoes. And eventually I was like, I'm going to wear a polo and some blue jeans, and I'm going to be comfortable, and people are going to appreciate that. And I went on a limb, and turns out I was right. They do like people to be approachable.
We kind of alluded to this earlier in the podcast with Sandra, but some people consider themselves introverts and they don't necessarily want to get out there and put their face on TV or get on a radio show, or some of the things that we talk about doing, like going to food banks and getting out there. You don't like you were saying, you've kind of done that in the shadows. You've done a lot of it, but you just haven't been out there completely, but you've done things to put your company and your business out there where it benefits you. So you don't necessarily have to be the one. It does help, if you can get on there and come up with a nice little catchy phrase. But you don't have to be that person. Like you were just saying, work your way out of it and be self-aware and put somebody that's better off in that position.
I know some great business people in our industry. There's some terrible ones too. But I know some great ones that have a person. Normally, if there's a guy that decides he's not the likable face of it, they always find like a, nice looking girl to put on there, because nice looking girls are always more approachable looking, or they don't look threatening or like salesy, right?
A little more disarming.
So he's had I can think of two right off the bat that's how they've done all their YouTube videos, all their marketing, all that. So we have a user here. I can't see what his name is, but it says how much ad spend per month. I was doing $15,000 a month for 4 months and only got a dozen leads. So it's not the $15,000 a month. That's strong to come straight in at that. It's a good budget, especially if you're in a local market. There's a lot more details that go into knowing how you were spending that. But 4 months just isn't long enough. It's just not long enough in TV to really know. And it depends on who else is running ads in your area. What did the ad say?
Well,
what time slot?
How big is the market?
Yeah,
how big is that market?
Yeah.
Are you in Dallas? Are you in, because we're running in Dallas and it's outrageously expensive. And we do better in Augusta, Georgia on a third of the budget.
Yeah.
So it depends
Yeah.
on where you are too.
Well, and then the time slots you're buying, the channels that you're buying for. I mean, all of these are variables that affect the outcome of it. So
Yeah. So Detroit is the market he's saying. So Detroit, and that is
It's
Sunny
big.
Gurney, by the way, I checked. And it is a big market. You're going to have a huge demo. There's also, but time slots and what networks you're running. If you're running and these are pretty good tips, honestly, that I'm giving away for free here, but don't do cable first. It's not the go-to right away. Broadcast is got more reach, and it's more pinpointed to the right demographic. It's not that cable's bad. It's not that. I even had, this is a good story here. I had a friend in Chattanooga, one of our downline partners there is a good friend of ours. I'll give him a shout out, Aaron Dixon, if you're out there. He said one night he was watching we were talking about him doing TV because we were just talking about it. I was talking marketing with our partners. And he was like, "There's only one guy doing it here, and I don't know who he is." And he was watching some kind of streaming service TV, and Chip Lewis was on there. But he's like, "RU64.com." I was like, "Oh, that's Chip Lewis. I know Chip Lewis. That's Chip-O-Matic." And anyway, but you were like the only one that he said's like really going ham on TV there. So, and we had actually had Medicare Misty on earlier, who's doing some TV in Chattanooga too. But it's those are growing market. Yeah, what? I'm calling my TV
up my spend now. Up my spend. What's Glenn Ross? What's his assistant's name? Or he's like, Martha, up my spend.
Glenda or what?
Something.
Yeah, but that is, and those are growing markets. These I don't know. I guess it's just most markets are growing, but southeastern city hubs are ones that a lot of ones you focused on, and a lot of our partners are in. They're just growing so fast, and then the Medicare population is exploding so quickly. It's just not a big shortage. We've had a lot of competition pop up in the last few years in Tupelo. We haven't felt it at all, and it's not like I want more of it, but it's.
And I don't necessarily think that it's a bad thing. If especially if you truly believe that you're providing a quality service and you're giving that high customer service, like, you shouldn't be affected by it at all.
Yeah. We got go ahead.
I had one of my stations reach out to me, and there was somebody else in Savannah that was running commercials, and they were like, "Hey, I saw," and they were like telling on the other station. They're like, "Hey, I saw that the other station ran your commercial with another Medicare commercial in the same break." I was like, "I don't care. I was like, run it. Let them see that I'm crushing them, in the same commercial spot." And plus,
that's like AutoZone, O'Reilly Auto Parts, and Napa are all right beside each other, and Walgreens and CVS are all right beside it. Like, I don't really think that I was thinking about this with Napa. There's a spot in Tupelo that has a Napa,
Advanced Auto
Parts, and O'Reilly Auto Parts right beside each other on the same side of the road, same, like, right there in this random drag. But I started thinking, man, if I needed auto parts, that's the part of town I'm going to.
Absolutely.
So like,
time.
And I don't really know which one of those stores I would go to. Actually, my buddy Charlie Kinney owns Napa, so I guess I'd go to Napa. But they're a little different. They do like delivery and stuff. But all I know is I'd go to that area. Same thing with pharmacies. I'm probably going to go to Crosstown. There's 2 pharmacies right there, right? So, probably a rising tide raises all ships. And the same thing with their Medicare commercials. Like, hey, they watched one Medicare commercial. They didn't have time to get their pen and write down the number. And then you're the next one. Oh, another one. I'll take his number.
You should have told that TV rep that you were fine with it, but he needs to call the other one.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Let him know I'm here.
Yeah. Let him know. Up my ads.
Yeah.
So no, that's it's funny. So somebody says, is YouTube a better alternative compared to TV for a new agent with a limited budget? It depends on what you're trying to pull.
Like, YouTube pulls, it's good. We did a lot of testing, especially during AEP with YouTube, and we had some good results. You could get leads off of YouTube. Is it a better alternative than TV?
I think YouTube's more.
It's hard to compare.
If you're talking about running YouTube ads is is more lead generation. TV is more branding. So you're trying to get. It's not like if you looked at the number of leads, like in the other one that Sonny put up, he says a dozen leads. Like the number of leads isn't particularly relevant because it might be 10 out of 12 are a sale there, right? Now, obviously, he spent $45,000 to get 10 sales. Not a great return, but it's a long-term branding approach. I'd probably start at Detroit's tough, man. I don't know. Like I love mid-size markets. Like Tupelo's is even a lower mid-size, but like if I was up there, I don't know that area well, but like I would assume like Grand Rapids would be a better play than like Detroit itself. Just like when he's talking about in Dallas, like I'd assume like heading over to like Stevensville or getting like a little bit outside of Dallas itself and focusing on a market like that. And so you look for this is a big tip, but if you're looking for TV stations, look for TV stations that don't overlap a metro area, because if it overlaps like a ginormous metro area, you're paying for that metro traffic, and the cost to show it is just ridiculous. So we ran a bunch of them in Memphis for a while, and I'll be honest, that was just not a good result.
Wasn't at all.
But so I'm if I was looking for another one to start running it in, I would be looking for a very smaller to mid-sized market, not a gigantic area.
And so, it's hard whenever you find a market. Say I've got a guy in Daytona Medicare specialist. Okay, let's go. Well, I have to look at TV first. Mm-hmm. And there's not just a Daytona station. It's Orlando, and they're getting it. So I can't cut my feet out from under me by just going Daytona. I've got to go Orlando. So then I create Orlando. They get Daytona. You might as well take all of it. So that's something tricky. We kind of let TV lead the way for us, but yeah, we do. So when we're looking, we have an agent we've been consulting in Lakeland, right in the middle of Polk County down there, and they're right in between Tampa and Orlando. And so when you start looking at TV markets, it doesn't make sense. By the same accord, I have an agent we were looking at in Austin. They said they wanted to do $5,000 to $7,000 a month in TV spend. So we started looking at every station there, and they were basically like, we can't even put you in rotation or consider you for rotation in that budget. Like it was just in Austin?
In Austin. That's what they told me. Now I was looking at NBC affiliate specifically. That was the first I went for, but so it could have been more expensive. I was trying to go straight for the I always look, and this is how I research it, but one of my biggest things is I'll find the stations in an area, and then I'll look at which one's weather authority Facebook page has the most likes.
That's strong. No,
because
it's news,
that's who they watch when there's that's who they watch in that area more than ever. There's always like a tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3 local news, like in most of these areas. And tier 1 is always going to have way stronger. So I hate relying on the metrics that they show me, because I always wonder, like I don't know what the accuracy of all that data is.
Nothing.
And
any of them.
so I'm like, I look at their Facebook page. I'm like, which one's got the most likes? Okay, that one's probably getting smart. That's probably the go-to place.
You got so smart.
I mean, we're littering this with tips, man.
I mean, I've got a bunch that are just like ready to jump off my tongue, but I'm going to save them maybe for Medicare Con.
Medicare Con, baby. Right. So we're going to get out there. That's going to be definitely a topic. So, well, we're about to wrap it up, but before we go, we have a couple little tips we're going to share here at the end, but we got one more commercial to show you guys. We love commercials. Ooh. You can't get the tips if you don't watch this commercial. Ready? And it's time to train like a guru. Go Guru University is an ever-expanding, cutting-edge, interactive training platform with live weekly coaching calls constructed to train agents efficiently and compliantly. Go Guru University offers a library of training modules explaining Medicare A to Z, face-to-face and telesales training, SEO and other marketing, and much more. Visit goguru.university to schedule your one-on-one demo today.
I like the Heartland one. You're like Rolex all up in that thing. You were like, "What up, Rolly?
Bad boy,
brother, Rolex, what up?"
Hey. Well, not
Daytona.
It's a Breitling, but
no, Breitling's awesome. I love Breitling.
In the right direction.
Heck yeah, brother,
dude. So what? What do you have, a Daytona?
No, I got the Batman.
Batman.
Yeah, nice. Brother, no big deal.
Did you get it? What was the milestone that made you do that?
Man, I don't know. One day I saw it. I'm in that Rolex like group buy sell trade, and I literally, it was just like talking to me. It's like, you're Batman. You are Batman. Let's do it.
Well, that honestly, I'd always wanted a blackface Submariner and never thought. But once I bought one, it's like I don't say it's like tattoos. It's like tattoos when I was a teenager. You got one, and you're like, I want another one. I don't know what it was about that, but same thing with watches now. Now I just want.
Well, Brad Lee said you had to have a
a
different colored one for every outfit.
Colored face
That's
to match
awesome.
my outfits, and I'm like, that's going to get expensive. I'm going to have to make more money.
Well, my wife, I got her a nice ring, engagement ring, wedding ring, whatever. I have a $2 Amazon wedding ring, so I was like, this is my wedding ring now.
That's right.
So yeah, actually, my top guy, Brandon Riggs, who's amazing and does so much for our company. After this AEP, I got him a Rolex. I got him an Air King, and I was like, "You are the Medicare King. What's up?"
Oh,
pretty slick, Air King,
dude.
Nice.
Shout out to Brandon Riggs. Thanks, buddy, for all you do.
That's right. That's right. Brandon Riggs. I think
he's the man.
Where is he out of? I saw him as Birmingham or.
Yeah, he's Columbia, South Carolina, and Augusta. He runs those two cities.
I've seen him on Facebook before. Oh, he's in the Go Guru group. That's where I've seen him.
Really?
All you guys joined in there.
One day you were like, I see everybody joined. I was trying to get the Heartland video that you sent me. Thank you so much. We have sold a lot because of that. But
hey, look, Heartland, you're a sponsor for the podcast. You hear that? It's all one.
No, we have. It's great.
Sponsor, I'm like that. Like, I mean, he's not even in my hierarchy, guys, and I'm just helping him out. This is the thing. The way I believe is we just help other people, and the ones that are looking for a home will find it. The ones that have a good home, it looks like you got Shanna Clark, who's listening, by the way. She did.
No way, Shanna.
So you got a good home. We just want to, help people that are awesome. And, you did come to Behind the Agency. You've been a supporter of us. So, and you're really good time to hang out with, by the way. Anybody looking for an agent to like be their mentor, but really just wants to go sing karaoke and hang out until the wee hours of the night.
Chip Lewis is your guy.
Just bring Chip Lewis into town.
I'll take you up on that.
Well, awesome, Chip, man. We so appreciate you being here. And, I can't wait to see you in Birmingham in April. Really rooting for you guys this OEP. Hope you guys kick ass. Shout out to Shanna on here and Brandon Riggs and Nancy Lewis. We'll be praying for it's Nancy Lewis, right?
That's not my wife. No, Nancy Patillo.
No, Nancy Patillo. Yeah,
no, she's my work wife, not my real wife.
Well, we'll be praying for Nancy Patillo. Yes. I threw Lewis in there. I just, thought that was her name too. I don't know.
It's okay.
It's a common name. So here's. I just have to say this came to my mind. My daughter comes in the room last night and she's like, Piper Raquel is this girl she follows on YouTube. Her last name is Smith. And I was like, well, that's a pretty common name. And she's like, I had a teacher once whose last name was Smith. I was like, Grace, it's literally like the most common name in the country. She's like, why? I was like, I don't know. They bred a lot. But anyway, it made me think of that. Lewis is a common name too.
No, Chip's got a stipulation where he don't hire you on unless you have his last name.
That's what it is.
Everybody's got to be a Lewis.
Right. A long line of Lewises.
Brandon Lewis, Nancy Lewis, Shanna Lewis. Just kidding. This is what we do. We're just chopping it up, guys. But we really appreciate Chip being on here. If you guys are looking to partner with somebody awesome, and I'm not saying Chip's going to take on 1 billion agents, but if you think that you are awesome enough to work with Chip-O-Matic, then hit him up on Instagram, Chip-O-Matic.
No, not there.
What's that? What's your email?
Chip, I've got that, but chip.lewis@ru64.com. Visit ru64.com. Send me a message through the contact form.
Yeah, Google RU64.
Yeah, or Medicare me, or leave me a Google review.
And while you guys are at it, if you would hook me up and Google Bobby Brock Insurance, don't type the domain in. Google it. It's really good for search engine optimization. FYI, if people actually Google your brand name, it's a little Neil Patel for you right there.
Another little tip.
All right, guys, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks, Chip. Enjoyed it, man.
Hey, thanks, guys. Love you guys.
You too, buddy.